Hey everybody, it's me, Steve. Hope you're all doing really well. Today we're gonna, it's not mine. Today we're gonna do something different and we're gonna see what's in my bag. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm gonna go through some things first. First, we're gonna start with my camera bodies. I have a 5D Mark IV, a guy here, but I also have a second one. It's you over there filming and shooting. That guy's got C-LAR on it. This guy, however, does not. These are my main camera bodies. I typically use them one on each hip. That way I can have two different lenses always on the go, and I'll talk about my lenses shortly. The 61 area point focus, different zone focusing is excellent on these. I really enjoy the fact that I'm able to really fine tune where I want to focus. I'm constantly switching around on these camera bodies. But it's really nice to be able to dial in exactly what I want out of this. Also, these have a silent shutter on them, so it's been really nice for ceremonies or quiet, corporate events where I need to really dial back and sort of disappear in the background. The silent shutter is quite quiet, which is good. So I got these guys, but before that, I've been shooting with the 5D Mark III series for quite some time as well. The threes, can you tell the difference? The threes and the fours are really, really similar, but there's just something else about this camera that is really, really nice. The shutter feels a lot nicer on it, but it's a little beat up right now. But it's just a slightly more put together camera, but they both feel great. They both work roughly exactly the same. Video capabilities on the 4 has been wonderful to do with so far too. But so I had two Mark IIIs, one's here, one's up there. And two Mark IVs back again over there. And I went from the 3s to the 4s. I sort of staggered as I got them over the years. But now I'm exclusively on the 4s, and they're just super great. I also work with these Velo grips on the side, battery grip and a hand grip too. The hand grips are really nice, so when I want to talk and point around at things, it gives me the flexibility to relax my hands so I'm not putting all my weight on my fingertips all day, especially when I'm holding my heavier lenses on here too. So I have all my cameras outfitted with these guys. And then the Velo bottom battery grips, they make a Canon grip as well. The Canon grip I hear is great. I've only used the Velo ones. They're exponentially more affordable. I think they're 3 times cheaper, which is great. So I'm kind of tough on my equipment, and these sort of have a little glitchy things here and there. You gotta toggle some switches to make them work from time to time, but 99% of the time they're absolutely fantastic and they're worth their weight in gold. And if they get beat up, you take one off and for $100 or so you can get yourself another one. But the battery grips are great. The hand grips are wonderful too. They're great. I love my camera bodies. But now we're gonna go on to my lenses. We'll see what's next from here. All right, so now it's time to talk about my two favorite lenses. These are lenses I use all the time. They're my go-tos. It's my left and my right. So my first lens is my 70-200. It's my go-to. It's my staple. It's my pride and joy. And my secondary lens that I'm always using is my 24-70 millimeter. And this lens is just an absolute staple for everybody to have. My Canon 70-200 lens. It's a 2.8 L series ultrasonic motor. It's super quiet. It's super fast, and it's also super heavy. But it hasn't really been a problem for me. I really enjoy shooting with it. It's absolutely my lens of choice. The focal length is perfect. I prefer a lens to let me be a little bit further back. I'm 6'4", and me being up on you is you looking at me like this. I'd much rather, this is much nicer. But, gotta get close sometimes. So this brings me close without having the distortion of a wide angle. It brings me close without having the height difference being such an issue. I pretty much lay down most of the time at weddings that it would see, but this lens allows me to get in close without having to be too close. It's a lens that's over here. It's great. It's buttery, nice soft backgrounds. The bokeh is fantastic on it. It's a 2.8, nice and bright, but it is heavy. This paired with a battery grip 5D Mark IV whole rig is a little heavy. And so a lot of people do say that carrying this around is a little feat unto itself, but it hasn't been too much of a problem for me. I think mostly because of this extra hand grip. It's really nice. A lot of the weight falls front into your fingertips, so having this extra grip back here to help support my hand has been really helpful with it. But I always have this on my right side. It's the first lens I rather pick up to shoot with. And on the other side of everything, a 24-70. This 2.8 L series lens, again, super fast, Great focusing, clear glass, clear through the corners too. I love how crisp I can get all my edges. This is my scene setting, little people, big shot, family photos, wide bridal party when there's 13 on each side. This is my go-to for this. All my dancing, a lot of my reception. Trying to shoot one of these during the reception with low light is a little tough to find focus. This is pretty quick to jump right in and do the job it's meant to be doing. But it's a lot lighter, it's a lot easier to shoot with, but it's the absolute staple. Everybody should have one of these. They're absolutely fantastic, and go get one. But so on my left side 24 to 70, my right side 70 to 200. I don't like moving. I don't want to be seen as a photographer for the most part unless I'm directing a shot or calling out the things. For ceremony, I'd much prefer to be in the background doing my thing, or right up front, hunkered down in one spot so that guests and friends and family aren't being distracted by minute bowl standing up center aisle. But being 6'4", having all the flexibility, all the compositions that I can get out of the lenses, I'd have to have 7 bodies on me to do all the primes that I would need to do. But they're great lenses. They're fantastic at what they do. So yeah, that's that. So next up to bat are my prime specialty lenses that I use. I brought them all out to share with each other all at the same time because I feel like I can quickly tell you a little bit about each. My Macro 100, this lens I bought this for the sole fact that I wanted to shoot ring photos and I wanted to make them absolutely gorgeous. My ring photos went through the roof that year when I finally started doing this, how close you can get to something and how much clearer and cleaner you can do your shots with it. You can't fake this. This is something you need, a macro lens, and whatever focal length you're comfortable with. They make a great 24 and a 35, but my 100, again, the long length is much more comfortable with me. This is details, 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 details all the way home. And my 100 is a lens that I shoot, like I said, rings, dress photos, bride portraits, tablescapes, cakes, centerpieces, escort card tables, like you name it. If it's a detail of a wedding, lace edges, things like that, florals, charms, anything that goes on the bridal bouquet, even nice corsage for the, not corsage, boutonniere, for the groom. It's great details. I love this lens. It's crystal clear. When it hits, it's stunning. I most of the time run this in manual focus. The gorgeous part about manual focus is it has a very long throw to get from infinity to a close-up and macro, so you can really dial in that acute attention to detail where you're really needing, as you're holding your breath, shooting at a lower aperture. Also shoot at a higher aperture when you're shooting macro stuff, so you stand a chance to have some depth of field. When shooting with this, having the ability to shoot in manual and take your time and sort of check your breathing, or if you're shooting with a tripod, really dial it in. It's fantastic for that. The throw is wonderful. But when you misfire, it's like, whoops, got it. No, not next time. So it's just a mess when you miss. So don't miss with this. Don't try to shoot action stuff with it. It's not worth it, but it's an amazing lens. And it keeps getting cheaper, unfortunately. Next one, 90, another mid to longer focal length. This is my 90 tilt shift. This is not an L series lens, unlike all the rest of my lenses. My L's are crystal clear, but so is this guy. This is the 90 millimeter all manual tilt shift. It only partially tilt shifts. It does shift and tilt respectively, no matter which way you turn them. It goes the same way respective to each other, unlike my 24, which is fully articulated, which means you can swap the shift and the tilt from each other vertically or horizontally, or even at 35-degree angles, 45-degree angles too. But this is fantastic. Great portrait lens, buttery backgrounds, or in this situation, what a tilt really does is it takes like a loaf of bread where you're typically used to seeing things and being like in focus, out of focus kind of thing, and you get each slice of bread. This one gets the front slice and the back slice in focus, so allowing for more creative shot. Only put it on once a while. I don't want to be the tilt shift guy, but it's there. It's awesome. It's a great portrait lens. And if it's straight on, it's just a gorgeous portrait lens. It's a great manual portrait lens. Allows me to slow down, take my time. My 24, this is my first introduction into tilt shifts. This thing is a beast. It is heavy as all hell. But it's, actually, if you've seen our portfolio or if you've been into the studio, the 40 by 60 canvas that I shot. It was shot with a lens like this a long time ago too. But it's a fantastic lens. It's really, really heavy. It's super soft all over. It's meant to be artful, but it is fully articulated. So you can really fix your keystoning instead of doing it in post with your alignment stuff. You can really do it right in camera. So the tilt and the shift sort of work completely different jobs, but you can send your thank you cards to Instagram for making it just a button you push. But anyway, tilt shift. And lastly, this is my newest addition to my lineup here. This is the 85. The 85 prime for me is something that I have wanted for a long time. I wanted a 135, but the 135 sucks because it doesn't have image stabilization in it, which doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. The 85 got IS in it. It's super fast, it's super quiet. When it's on, it is like godlike. When it's off, it's just my fault. So it goes down to 1.4, so it's a super bright lens. You can turn all the lights off and it still looks great. And it's wickedly fast. I think it's actually one of my fastest lenses. When it misfires, getting right back into it, it's like put me in coach. It's fantastic. It gets right to the job and does it right. Big aperture. Lots of light goes through here. So it's great. It's just so bright and so quick and so heavy. I think it rivals the 24-70, not quite to the 70-200, but it's definitely like it's a beast. But enjoy it, get one. 1.4, don't buy the 1.2 or the 1.8, no, or the 1.4. So, I ideally shoot these two guys, 24-70, 70-200. I don't like it to carry a lot around me. I only want to have just what I need, and I want to go, and I want to shoot, and I want to have to be like dealing with stuff or carrying multiple flashes, or although I do, you'll see anyway. So I ideally want those, but like I said earlier, this 85 is so fantastic that if I could give myself a fixed 24 prime, 35, 50, 85, 135, it'd be awesome. They're exceptional lenses, the prime lenses, but it doesn't say that these zooms aren't. They're just as clean, just as clear. When they're on, they're fantastic, but they're more on than not, and they're great. But when this guy's on, it's just so good. But it's they're great lenses. So if I could do that, I would. But getting what I can out of my 24-70 and being a type of shooter that is not seen as much and directs when I have to, commands the room when I have to, but also just sort of like fades out of the way and lets you be you, so that way you're comfortable and you can enjoy your time on your wedding day or your corporate job. It's just important that that's how I shoot. So on to flashes? Yes? Okay, let's go. So on to flashes. I've been using the flashes from Canon for a long time. 580 up to the 600, now to the 602s. I've been using them forever. I actually got this transmitter a long while back, the STE3RT D2. And it's they work off of AA batteries. And the AA batteries that I use are PowerX batteries. I've had these for quite some time too. I refresh these quite often, but lithium, buy them. PowerX batteries are the best batteries you can get for what we do. These also work off of AA. I needed to not work off of AA anymore because I've been pushing out too much power. So I switched from Canon to Godox. This is my onboard. Remember I talked about carrying lightweight? I only carry one flash on me even though I'm carrying two cameras. I sort of swap in between. The Canon had this great quick release button on the side here. It's been fantastic. Just switch it over, you're done, switch it back. This one's a little bit more cumbersome with, it's actually like a dial, like a screw you gotta set down, but I haven't found it to be too obnoxious to be able to quickly switch. It's nice and smooth the way it transitions. You can get all different angles just like you can with the toggled head. But the V862, see these names, I can't get enough. And then I switched also to my off-camera lighting to be these 8200 Pros. These things are like carrying bricks around with you. They add a lot of weight to my bag, and they are 3 times as strong as these speed lights, no matter what brand you're doing. So close your eyes, unless you want to watch, but anyway. So a full dump recycles that fast, and it's quite remarkable at how quickly you can get in and get out. they have these kind of batteries, which has been fantastic. They look like little recycling containers. But these are much faster. They hold a lot, charge a lot longer. The V860 also carries a battery like so too. So I switched away from AA's. I'm using this as my transmitter to talk to. This is my other transmitter to talk when I need this guy as a kicker light. And I've been using 2 of these 8200 Pros. And they're incredible. They're workhorses. They're like bringing the sun with you. They're 3 times as strong as a speed light. When I get on talking about other flash pieces, put 2 of these next to each other and you got 6 times the power of a speed light. They're insane. So hang on to some of these. They're great. I think that's about it for flash stuff, but I do have some other fun lights to talk about. These guys. So these are the Young Nuos. Some serial number. They're the white ones, but they sync to each other, and they're quite amazing, right? I use these for some artistic stuff. I want to put a little bit of color backlight. We're actually using one over here, sorry. I'm using one over there with a little bit of like an aqua light right now. But these guys are amazing. So get these. You can just put one of them off to the side, light something from the side. You can set all different colors. You can change them as much as you want. And our full RGB, full 3200 to 5000 Kelvin or 5500 Kelvin. So, you know, incandescent all the way through daylight. Hang on to them, they're great. And that's lighting, I think, for that. The next thing I'll talk about is my MagMod system that I use. Ta-da! So this is the MagMod system, or at least some modifiers. A lot of this stuff is all just pure magic. It's heavy, it's reliable, it's magnet modifiers. It's a great way to quickly on the run change out your flash units from, you know, a diffused light to a grid to a snoot to a gel with this to a gel with this. It's fun. You can stack them. You can do a lot of great stuff with it. I use these constantly. They're just so fast. I can quickly throw them up on a tripod, walk away from it, and know that it's going to be there. It's reliable. When I'm done with it, I take it off and just drop it down, and we're back to where we started. The ability to put multiple ones next to each other, which we'll talk about a little bit more. The MagMod system is incredibly reliable, incredibly fast, quiet, simple to set up. So user-friendly. I can tear down and set up within seconds and just out the door onto something else, stick something on a tripod and carry it with me. As far as tripods are concerned, I live with my Cheetah stands around me. They open and close on their own as you drop them, pick them back up, put them back down. And it's my Linus blanket. I carry them around everywhere at a wedding, just dragging behind me. And but they're super reliable. I have a 10-foot one that I use all the time, allows me to get up above crowds for, like, you know, ceremony interests and whatnot. But I stick one of these up on top here, triple the power, stick a second one in, 6 times the amount of power of light. I can just bring the sun wherever I want, and when I'm done, I can take this out and just rock one, or stick something else up in here. It's just so quick, so universal, and just so fast. Anyway, they're fun to play with too. So magnets, they're magnets. They're great. I will have another video on all this stuff in its entirety at another date, and eventually once we do get it, it'll probably be like here or here on the video, wherever Stephen puts it. But in the meantime, check them out, go online, visit them. There's links down below. While you're at it, if you want to find out more about the stuff that we do talk about at length in the future, you can always hit the subscribe button, which will eventually be over probably here at the end of one of these things, or I don't know. We're new to this. We're figuring it out. It's easy. Anyway, so you put one of these things on, you muscle one of these things on, and you're set to go. You can put any modifier you want on it. Super fast, super reliable, like I said. And they even come with these nice little pouches that are great to clean your glasses. So in a pinch, you got yourself a lens cleaner. So that's the MagMod system. More on that later. All right, so you made it. There's only 2 things left to talk about: my bag and the thing that I carry my cameras around with, my strap. So, bag, and wait, there's more. Hold on. There we go. Safety first. So this is the HoldFast gear strap, and it's amazing. It's a tangled mess right now, but I can carry 2 cameras on here. I look quite badass with it. But 2 camera system. There is a quick release that goes onto the bottom of your camera, hooks onto the D hook that's on the bottom of your camera on the 1/4" jack there. And there's also a safety feature which hooks onto the side of your camera too with another small circle ring like you have on your keys. This whole thing, 2 cameras, 70-200 on my Mark IV, 24-70 on my Mark IV. Again, my Mark III off in the front seat of the car with a random lens on it. It's fantastic. It's built for you. It's sized to fit you. You know, whether you're tall, skinny, whatever. 6'4". You can have one that fits you. You suit it all up and it's great. I've had this for like 6+ years. It fits me exactly how I want it to fit, and it keeps me nice and upright, helps me with my posture, holds the weight down at my hips the whole day. Grab what I need, throw it down when I'm done with it. I literally just like toss my cameras and I can trust it. It's very reliable and safe. And it looks cool. Bison leather, looks great. Lastly, the camera bag. So Lowepro made this bag a while back. This bag is, you know, quite a few years old. This bag is called the Transit Backpack 350 AW. I bought it because I had the CompuTrek bag, which was like a refrigerator, and this I needed to downsize. It's great. It's, you know, your typical lay it out however you want it. Everything's, you know, everything's all Velcro in here. Lay it out however you like it. Small little pockets here and there. I have a system where I put cards that are blank on the outside, and I keep all my my cards that are actually spent and got work on them tied up nice inside here, and all the other small things. Keep a couple doodads throughout the day here. This is completely empty just to show you the compartments. I have my 70-200 in here with a Mark IV, 24-70 on its side, my 2 specialty lenses and a spot for my flashes, some extra cards, whatnot. This also comes with a, I believe, a 13-inch laptop. Looks like it's talking to you. And that's that. So my iPad's usually in there. Oh, and there's also a little side compartment too. So when you need to like surprise your friends or quickly get to this, that's in there too. So when it's on your back, you can quickly pull out a lens or pull out a body. I'd like to travel light. I pack this as much as I need to, and then I leave it somewhere so I can be on the go and use what I need on here too. This with my one flash or my transmitter. It's all I need. It's all I have. This is what's in my bag. Oh, by the way, there's a cool weather cover. Forgot about this too. So you can go out and get all wet. I should put a photo of here what I look like in the rain. Anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me. It's time to get to subscribing. It's time to get to viewing all the rest of our videos. It's time to tell all your friends about this. Thank you for being here. I know this has been a little bit of time here. We'll do lots of the videos in the future on each different lens, what lenses to use in what situations and why we use them and how we use them, some practical application of it. But for now, we just wanted to share what's in my bag. Thank you so much for being here. It's been great. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys. So one more thing to say about these. In the beginning, I like sailed one of these across the table. I better pay attention now of what I do with these. But this is my OG 24-70. I bought this like 8-9 years ago or something like that, and this is the new babyface one that I have. This has got some scratch on the lenses. It took a fall in 2019 at a wedding and cracked the casing. You can't quite see it here, but the whole lens is kind of pancaked in, and the actual fittings don't fit on the camera. I can sort of free lens with it, which is oddly fun to do. It renders me not an accurate photo, but it's cool. But this is basically a nice paperweight, a great football. I could send it over to you guys, or it's real fun for little antics in the studio. The chair that we had there's gone, so I'm not gonna send it now, but I'll just put it there. Anyway, get yourself a 24-70, one that's not broken though.